Some players began to suspect Asahi, a close friend. Suguru ordered his men to seize her and throw her into the fire. However, Usagi and Mira, one of the leaders of the beach, intervened. Usagi insisted that no one had an alibi, so it was wrong to accuse anyone without evidence. All the players began to take turns explaining what they had been doing for the past hour. A blood-stained napkin was noticed in Anne's hands, which raised suspicions. However, Anne explained that the blood was from examining the Hatter's body. She had performed an autopsy and discovered that the Hatter had been deliberately eliminated, but the leaders had decided to cover it up. Anne showed a bullet extracted from his body, stating that the rifling marks matched a weapon controlled by the beach. This meant that the Hatter had been eliminated by one of the beach members. One of the girls suggested that the witch was hiding among the military faction, but at that moment she was eliminated by the tattooed man. Just then, Aguni entered the hall. He declared that they had to win the game first and demanded that the witch confess voluntarily. Otherwise, everyone who wasn't part of the military would be thrown into the fire. Suguru, in a playful mood, fired a shot into the ceiling. Panic spread among the crowd, and people began to scatter. Usagi and Asahi ran out of the hall to look for Arisu. A newcomer and another man also volunteered to help. They started searching the rooms one by one. In one of the rooms, Usagi found a soldier sitting in a bathtub with a gun, trembling in fear. He couldn't bring himself to eliminate his friends. Usagi learned from him that Arisu was in the building. Meanwhile, the newcomer received information from a girl that Arisu was being held on the 4th floor. Amidst the chaos, Shuntaro and Hikari hid in the surveillance room. They noticed Anne searching for something in an office. Hikari approached her to find out what she was looking for. Anne revealed that in the real world, she had been a forensic expert for the Tokyo police. She explained that by using superglue fumes, powder, and tape, she could lift a fingerprint and find out who had eliminated the Hatter. Hikari decided to help her, but their path was blocked by the tattooed man, an expert swordsman. Hikari ordered Anne to continue while she faced him alone. Meanwhile, the military set fires outside in an attempt to find the witch, filling the building with smoke. Arisu tried to free himself but lost consciousness. During the battle between the tattooed man and Hikari, he was surprised by her skill. In a flashback, we learn that Hikari was once a boy. In her youth, she practiced martial arts, but her father was disappointed that his son always hesitated before delivering the final blow. He kicked him out of the house, calling him too soft. After that, Hikari decided to transition and change her gender. Next, we learn the backstory of the tattooed man. He was once a writer who had lost his passion for life. However, after participating in his first game, he felt truly alive for the first time. This changed both his appearance and his worldview. While both of them despised their past, unlike the tattooed man, Hikari wanted to return to the real world where her sick mother was waiting for her. The battle continued, and in the end, Hikari defeated the tattooed man. Meanwhile, Suguru, looking through the scope of his sniper rifle, noticed a confused young man and recalled his school years when his classmates bullied him. Suddenly, Shuntaro appeared on the rooftop and began mocking Suguru, accusing him of enjoying tormenting the weak. Shuntaro suggested that the witch was one of the military. He declared that he was going to eliminate all of Aguni's followers, including Aguni himself. Since Suguru also disliked Shuntaro, they decided to settle their differences. Suguru took aim at Shuntaro, but Shuntaro unexpectedly threw a pack of playing cards as a distraction and eliminated Suguru with a lighter gun. Meanwhile, while unconscious, Arisu had a dream where he was sitting in a bar with his two best friends, Karube and Chota. They told him that he had to survive at any cost. Suddenly, Arisu woke up, gathered all his strength, and ripped the tape off his mouth. He shouted for help, and Usagi, who was nearby, heard him and saved him. After catching his breath, the protagonist was finally explained the rules of the game, Witch Hunt. There were only 30 minutes left until the end of the game. Having already experienced similar trials, Arisu realized that the organizers were trying to make all the beach players lose. The newcomer assumed that the witch was one of the military, but Arisu disagreed. As Aguni watched the bodies of the eliminated players being thrown into the fire one by one, he once again thought of the Hatter. In a flashback, we learned that the Hatter was his old friend. When he found out that Aguni had become a military officer, he made him swear to live a long life, because Aguni was his only true friend. At that moment, Anne managed to lift fingerprints from the dagger and was shocked by the results. She ran out of the room to tell everyone, but she was intercepted by the military, who were still searching for the witch.